sitting down on that crossroad, feeling the blues right down to my toes. And I went down to that crossroad. I had no left of my toes. So I jumped into a boat. Oh, going down that river. Just a floating to the Cancun. You what happened out of the Cancun? I said I started playing in that muddy water down in New Orleans, yo. They call me Mr. Mud Turtle. Yeah, I splash in that water. Me up on the levee and it's raining. Head down to the water and watch out for them snakes, cause they'll get you. Get you, boy. They'll get you on your ankles and maybe your toes. Ooh, is that water down the toes. Living in the river, head to the swamp, looking for my mama, and my baby done died. I can't find my mama, cause she lost in the swamp. Don't know where she is. You gotta watch out for them gators. You never know when they come up and get you. Okay.
That's the blue one.
That's the blue. That's the blue.
So yeah. Go down to the muddy water swamp. A lot of times you gotta go down there and double check your check for your toes, cause they come up and bite you.
Outstanding.
Great. Let us start our podcast, and we do have a name.
We have a name now. We have a name.
We have solidified a name.
Let it be known. Drum roll, Seth. Mark him over.
It's called Perspective Lens.
This perspective lens.
It's a perspective lens.
Perspective lens.
And we own that now.
Yeah, it's ours now.
It's been locked down, solidified. We own that.
Try and steal it if you want.
Yeah, but you
can try. Look for that website. No. Well, it's ours. It's not a registered trademark.
Oh, wait a second.
But we do have the website.
But we have the website now.
Okay.
Perspective lens.
Perspective lens.
Why is perspective lens? Why perspective lens, Mark?
Well, I think it has a double entendre.
Double entendre.
So, well, when we say perspective lens, let's break down the word perspective and lens. Lens has to do with a way of viewing, and also meaning number 2. Camera lens, and that's what we're kind of all about. Perspective. It's all about how one views something as opposed to someone else.
Right.
And
so
maybe
we're different lenses,
give different perspectives,
perspectives,
and also how that pertains to cinema. So also, we didn't want to just specifically focus on film, cinema. Perspective views, perspective lenses could be on anything. And maybe our perspective lens individually and as a whole will change your perspective lens. Maybe for the make better, for the worse, a little bit of a maybe a little bit deeper focused.
Yeah, a little focused.
The dynamic range is higher.
Yeah. Get some good bokeh.
That makes no sense. You shut your mouth.
Get out of here.
We were gonna call ourselves the Bokeh Boys. The Bokeh Boys. And there would just be 4 large dots.
Yeah, just 4 really just out of focus
lights.
Blurs.
And we're just also we were thinking about Film Brew, but it was taken.
Yeah, Film Brew has been taken apparently by everybody.
Film Brew would have been great because we have our beer. Not today for me.
Or coffee brew.
I'm going to meetings now.
Look at this hat. Isn't that a wonderful hat?
Yeah.
Axel has his 18-month coin.
No. You guys are my sponsors. Thank you.
We can talk about what we did this past weekend.
Picnic day.
And it was my birthday.
And it was his birthday.
Happy birthday, Corey.
Shut up.
Happy birthday, Corey.
Shut up.
How old are you, Corey?
Where were you? Where were any of you on my birthday? I'm 24 now.
He's 24.
And we celebrated by going to Picnic Day in Davis.
In Davis, California.
Our first time. Axel's second time. Explain what Picnic Day is.
Well, it's a celebration of Earth Day in a way, but it happens on a Saturday in
Oh, is that what it is? Earth Day?
April.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
did.
basically, but
Earth Day-
UC Davis in Davis, California has a large celebration of Earth Day. There's parades.
UC
and
Davis is a
parties.
university.
It's a university in Davis, California. Quite prestigious, known for the veterinary program.
And agriculture. I
And
believe.
agriculture.
Yes, and bovine. Anyways, Picnic Day is a day where there's a celebration of Earth and happily.
So they
Happiness
have
stuff.
parades. They also have
Bands
lot
that
of
come
drinking.
play.
They have bands. They have like petting zoos and like that. All
They have
kinds of
kids that you can pet.
Exactly.
Events. But basically, it turns into
All kinds of
just
stuff.
a nice party.
Yeah.
Turns into Woodstock.
So here's what happens: is it's a big celebration for like a lot of people, for like families and stuff. But then these rowdy, rascally kids
all,
come
the,
out.
all the college kids
All the
are still on
college
campus,
kids.
more or less.
Yeah, they're still there. I mean, spring semester, right?
And how do they party?
They
They
party
just
hard.
drink.
You just drink. And so all the frats are open, the sorority houses are open, apparently when
All
you party,
houses.
I realized that they just put all the furniture on the lawn.
Yeah.
That's how you know a
That's the
party's
party.
going on.
Yeah,
Is-
they
is
put
all the furniture
tables
is on the
and they-
lawn now.
yeah. Exactly.
You know? Okay, well, so we got there, and so met with some friends. There was a big group of us. People are tuning out; they don't care. That's fine. There was a group of us, and we went to this one apartment, and it was this apartment complex that had this sort of like a courtyard, right? And there was these guys having a band, and they had a drum set set up and a couple amps. It was pretty cool. There was maybe like 20, 30 people there total. And me and Axel play, and we had our friend Xander, who was also here, and he plays drums. And so Xander goes up and
They
talks
just
to the
kind of
drummer.
like just overtook their
Which,
band.
yeah, we
for
overtook them.
momentarily.
And they were, because it was just the guitar guy.
I think they were taking a break or something.
Yeah, exactly. They were taking a break, but one of the guys was kind of just noodling around on the guitar. And then like the MC singer guy was there, and he was kind of doing his thing. And so Xander went up and talked to the drummer. I was like, hey, can I hop on your drums? And he was like, all right. So he gets on, and he's drumming, and Axel sees the bass sitting there. Hey, can I play bass? Fine. Picks it up. There's a spare guitar. Mark and Luke come over and rip my backpack off.
Like, you're getting on the
Like,
guitar.
all right, so we play. And so me and Axel and Xander and this strange other guitar guy.
His name was Sam.
Sam. Nothing dampens Joe's spirit, Sam. And we just started jamming, and it was sick.
And then just shredded.
Yeah, it was badass.
shredding.
For
And
like-
everyone was just like, dang, that's freaking
Yeah,
legit.
yeah, it was just cool because it's like you just sit in like
Yeah.
with them, you know. It's just like, oh, we just
It must have been like less than 10 minutes.
yeah, it was probably
It
like
was
5
really
minutes. Yeah,
quick.
It wasn't anything.
But that was,
And
it was
then
really
we
cool.
made history and left.
After that, me and Luke have a cool story. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Luke.
Well, we got to our home base, which was our buddy's friend's house. I guess they go to Davis. And they had a beer pong table sitting in the back. And me and Corey, being the dynamic duo, we decided to team up versus other people playing beer pong. 7 games straight.
7 games.
Not one
Undefeated.
game did we lose. 7
Wow,
games straight.
bragging about beer pong.
Yeah.
Hey man,
That's great.
let's see you win 7 games in a row.
straight
Hey,
against
right.
college
Against-
who
been
lives
there,
Totally
done
better
that.
than those frat guys you played.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
We probably
I mean,
are.
They had skills.
Hey man.
They had skills.
Anyways,
At least they tried.
let's get back to the
Well,
now
no,
and present. No?
Oh, before I would like to. Apparently, so they do picnic day because of Earth Day, right? But that was on Saturday. Earth Day was yesterday on Wednesday. Today's Thursday. We're filming this. Whenever you see this, it might be later. But I found this out yesterday. Earth Day is on Wednesday. 2 days after that is Arbor Day. 2 holidays that are very similar, only separated by 2 days. I think that's very interesting.
That is very interesting.
So I feel like
But tomorrow's Arbor Day then?
apparently, right?
What is
that-
Arbor
that
Day?
True? Arbor Day is like is that day like you plant trees? If I'm totally wrong about this, then I apologize. I'm stupid. Well, I mean I'm stupid anyway, but I feel like so if people are planting trees on Earth Day, dude, you gotta wait 2
You
days.
gotta wait for
Earth Day
Arbor
is for the tilling the earth.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you plant your trees.
Earth Day is where you destroy the earth?
Yeah.
And then Arbor Day is you fix the earth.
I don't know. I just thought it was stupid that it's like those 2 days are like right next to
It's
each
like
other.
penance.
Depending.
You know,
Why
it's like 3 days later.
Yeah, why is it
plant
the
more
same thing?
But
That is
enough,
interesting.
enough about
Let's-
that.
All right.
reel
So
that
anyway,
in.
that was
Yeah.
none of you were involved, so you probably don't care. But that's what we did. And that was
We'll reel that back in.
there was one thing that Mark brought up that I was interested in talking about. What
Oh, yeah.
either like made you want to be a filmmaker? When was that moment? What inspired you? And then
Right.
what do you want to be? What's the end game here? Do we all want to be directors? Some of us want to be producers? Maybe a little bit of screenwriting? Maybe try your hand at editing? What do we want? That's something that I think would be kind
Okay.
of make for a cool
Okay, where should we start?
podcast. We can start anywhere. When were you guys?
Well,
Start on the end.
I think feel free to chime in anytime because I think me and Mark kind of had the same probably path more or less. Maybe not the same end game.
You're your own person. Your own person.
At the same time, though, that we both kind of all right. So
Yeah.
let me just get started. Anyway, we basically started filming when we started doing little skate videos when we were probably in middle school.
Well,
Let's
go before that.
Really back.
Reel it back.
Wow.
It was a Christmas of, I think I was like in 6th grade.
Okay.
6th grade, and I asked for a video camera.
That's right.
And
right.
it was just like a little. It wasn't even mini DV yet. It wasn't VHS, but it was like the smaller version of VHS. Just like, it was almost like a
cassette tape.
cassette. It was almost a cassette tape. Yeah, basically. And we were into skateboarding at the time, and that's where we kind of started making.
Right. So we would do stupid. We would do stupid commercials all the time. We'd make our own commercials.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then we would do stop motion videos all the time.
Oh yeah.
And then we just really got into that. And then in high school, it kind of got a little bit more serious. We started, I think our senior year in high school, we took a film as literature class. And we watched Blade Runner and Psycho. And we had a really good teacher. We watched Do the Right Thing, Run Lola Run. Like these really good, some decent movies, you know. And we're like, oh, these are really cool movies, you know. And then I think our end project was to make a short film. So we made a little short film in that class. And then it kind of gave us like the bug, you know. And then we went to City College of San Francisco. And we were kind of more into cross country and track running. That was kind of our focus. And we kind of, we did our running and stuff like that. And then we kind of decided, you know, like we really like film. This could be like our end game or our career if we wanted it to be, you know. So we took some film classes in City College of San Francisco, and really kind of fell in love with it. You know, like we took a lot of basic classes, you know, a lot of film studies classes that we really got into, and then the basic production classes. We worked with Super 8 Film, and we just had some really, really good teachers. There's a great film program at City College of San Francisco, and just kind of fell in love with the whole aspect of just writing a script, making a film, and then getting it shown. They had this they had a film festival at City College of San Francisco when we were our sophomore year, and so we made a short film. It was called Wasteland. It's on our YouTube channel if you want to take a look at it. It's ridiculous. It's definitely one of our first short films. Our Search and Destroy films, that's what we talked about. We made Wasteland, and we got into this film festival of other student films. Out of like 200 submissions, I think only like 10 got chosen or something like that. And we just felt like super like we're like, oh crap, that's crazy.
Oh dang, I didn't know it was that many.
And it was really neat, and it kind of like I don't know, established us as like something that we want to kind of move toward. And then we decided we're going to major in that, you know. And we went to Sac State and did a couple more short films and continued running cross country and track. I think that was our main focus in college. And until after, you know, we did Civil War Story and a bunch of other short films and stuff like that. But I think for me as my end game, I'm really starting to appreciate the writing a lot more than the actual technical part of just crafting the film, like going out and actually filming and directing. I can definitely see myself as a director, but right now I'm really, really interested in the writing part, to the point where I think if I really fall in love with if I really like my writing enough and I can't see anyone else filming it, you know, like that's my idea. I know exactly how I want that done, to the point where I'll probably be like, only I can direct that, you know. I might be selfish enough for that, you know. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm kind of focusing on the craft of writing, and I want to kind of see where that takes me. So that's kind of for me.
Like most of you guys' videos that are on your GoodieRoom channel, like did you make most of those when you were in City College or like in high school?
We started making those freshman year at City College.
Oh,
yeah. We got a Canon XL2 video camera.
Like right out of high school.
That had mini DV. And it was a pretty expensive camera for us. It was like $700 or something like that.
No, it was more than that. Because we spent like our financial aid on it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we spent our financial aid on it.
And we spent a lot. And we were like, okay, we're investing in this camera. So we started doing like a video a week, and like you guys can see on the GoodieRoom channel, like we have a lot of stupid little videos, but that's kind of where we really learned how to like place the camera. We made a lot of mistakes, a lot of stupid mistakes, especially if it was only me and my brother filming, you know. So if we were both in a 2-shot, we had to set up the camera. Mark would stand in for both positions. We would run the camera, come back and spot in our positions and act, you know. Yeah. So it's like you can only do so much with 2 people, but I mean, like just in terms of setting everything up and learning effects and just like.
Because we had to do everything from coming up with the idea to the editing to uploading it to YouTube, and we were doing that before we went into any of our film classes.
Right.
So in our production classes, a lot of this we've already made a bunch of little short films. So you know, we learned more from doing those little comedy short films, even if they're ridiculously dumb. We learned more from that than actually being in class.
Yeah, because there could be one thing in class that they tell you, okay, you can't cross the line and stuff like that. And we really know what that meant in like filmic terms, but then they started explaining like, oh, we kind of already know that. That kind of gets confusing when you cross the line, or you can cross the line when you cut on action. Like, oh, we kind of realized you can do that already. You know, and these little rules you kind of start learning, and not until you actually, or at least for me, not until you actually film it and actually get your hands on it, does that actually solidify in your mind. You know, you might learn it in class, but to actually have the time or the chance to go out and film it yourself is not until you actually understand.
And that's why a lot of certain famous directors say you don't need to go to film school, because if you have the drive and you want to learn it enough, you can do it yourself. You can make short films, you can write, you go on YouTube and learn how to do After Effects and color grading and editing and script format and all of that. You know, you don't need a professor to say, here's this assignment, go and do it. You know, you can do it on your own.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I guess what you're working toward in school is to have that degree, but in the filmmaking world, it doesn't matter. That degree really doesn't matter. We all have degrees. It doesn't matter.
It's all about your resume.
Or like what you've worked on and what you
skills.
Can do.
It's a skill.
It's your
industry.
skills and like who knows about your skills, more or less. You know?
Exactly.
And if you're 12 years old and you can do better special effects than a professional, that 12-year-old is gonna freaking get work if you want. Literally, someday, he can sit in his garage, in his room, and work with Maya and freaking anything else, you know, and he can probably get work if he wants to, you know. I mean, a lot of the YouTube tutorials and videos that tell you how to do stuff, like a lot of times they're like 14, 15-year-old kids that know how to do stuff better than you do, you know. I mean, you can learn anything on YouTube or any other website.
I've learned more from YouTube than I have from classes, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. And if you have the drive to do it, I think that's the main thing. Like if you have the drive to learn it yourself, to go out and to pick up a camera and to direct your friends and blah blah, you don't need film school.
No.
You know. But if you need that extra push to say, okay, your deadline is in 3 weeks to make a short film, and you need that.
And also you have, I mean, there are trade-offs and pros and cons. I mean, if you're at a school and you're studying film production, then you have other connections. You have people to ask advice.
Right.
You can have someone that's really good at editing. You have one person that's really good at acting, and you can go to the theater department. It's like, hey, I want you to be in a movie. You have these connections, and it's a lot easier, but you're already paying for it.
Yeah.
But you can do it without that.
Yeah.
You know,
and at the same time, I think like. It's not like we graduated from a prestigious school. Like we graduated from.
It's not even film school. It's just a film program.
Film program, right? But if you can get into like USC or UCLA and you get into those film programs, like where they accept literally 15 students out of UCLA, you know, like 15 students out of like I think 250 to 300 people that apply. If you can get into those schools. You'll get those connections, you know, and those are the main things. You can get connections.
No, those are film schools.
Those are film
They're very
schools.
much oriented to get you into into the industry.
Yeah. And they have programs to set up so you have an end game after you get out of school. You know?
And they also offer like more of a specialization too.
That's right.
So if you wanted to specialize. Like your last year, you're gonna be like, oh, I want to be directing, I want to be producing, I want to be editing. I want to be film studies. You know, they kind of take you in your last year, or it might be last 2 years. You kind of focus on that position in whatever films you're doing. Yeah.
So, what about you? What got you in the film, Corey?
When I started I was probably in like 6th grade, and like I think I saw like Saving Private Ryan. I just saw some movie. And I was like, oh, that was like just the scale of it. I was like, that'd be really cool. And you realize like they could do that professionally.
Yeah.
It's almost like playing make believe
Yeah.
professionally. And I was like, dude, that's kind of cool. And then I just thought about ideas, you know, and like I remember when I was doing my homework, I'd always listen to music. I still do. Like if I'm doing something, I'm always listening to music. And so like just kind of mindlessly, I would be creating like some sort of images. And I think I told you, I told one of you guys, like my very first idea of a film was called Operation P-Day or something like that. And it was like a Saving Private Ryan, like a D-Day invasion, World War II, but with paintball guns. And it was like, so like in the future, like all these kids, like maybe 18 to like 25 or something, would get like drafted. And it was literally a global conflict, like worldwide, like kids of all ages, or not of all ages, but from every country, you know, would like join these little like armies. And play like these fat paintball wars, and they would get into like amphibious assault vehicles and like storm, you know, like the beaches and stuff, and just be like, I was like, that'd be. I know, yeah, well, whatever, but
I was 12.
I was like 12. I was into paintball at the time. I was just you're putting things together, you know. Right. So I was like, that'd be cool. And then I thought of like, you know, just some other ideas, and then like when I was in 8th grade, my grandma for my birthday got me a similar thing, like this old. It was one that she had already. It was like the same camera that my parents used to like film me. Like the film in it when I got it still had like my baby videos on it. You know? Like, it was the same camera.
Thanks, Grandma.
Yeah, it was from like the 80s, you know, and you push the thing that pops up and like the little tape.
You stick it in.
Yeah, you push it down, click it in,
film yourself.
Get the lock.
Yeah, that was really it.
It was a combination.
And so then I took that, and like me and my friends would start just making dumb videos. You know, like I wanted to make more serious films, but we were too goofy and they were too undisciplined to you know, get anything going. So it was just like
I'll film you jumping off the roof.
yeah, no, exactly. You know, like Jackass was out at the time, so we're trying to imitate that. A nightmare, but then
we did that.
And so I had that, but then it was like I didn't. In high school, like some of my friends, you know, like when a project came up or something in like our history class, like, oh, get into groups and you can make a film. Okay, let's do the short film. So we would do that, and like we had so much fun. I always want to like operate the camera and like, so. But then like college comes around, and I'm trying to get into like Long Beach, and I didn't have the money, I didn't get in, but they had a good film program, I guess. And then Sac State let me in. I was like, I'll just go to Sac State. They were like, you're okay.
Just like. Come on.
Like, all right,
Bring
fine.
your depressed, you're hopeless,
give us your sick,
you're tired and poor. Gore's like, hey, that's me.
Sex State's just like, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, come on in. What have you done?
We'll take your money.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so I go. And it was cool, but when I started, there was no film major. At least I thought when I was trying to apply.
Yeah.
You know, there's like all the programs that you can take, and there was nothing. No film, no entertainment, no communications, or anything like that. I was like, what the hell? So I just was like art major, vague art. Fine. It's like my freshman year, I was taking like art classes. And then sophomore year, I found out they had a film program. I was like, oh, sick. So I switched. And Dave, my roommate, was also a film guy. So that kind of helped me motivate. Like, okay, he was a film major, he transferred over. So then me and him were able to like kind of take the same classes together, you know, so that was kind of cool. Like these guys said, Sac State it's not a film school by any means. The film program is really premature, and it might get better. I hope it gets better, but like right now, I think what the saving grace for it was like film studies, and like for me, like placing the camera and stuff, that was kind of interesting.
Right.
But like I thought the actual like the theory like appealed to me for some reason, because like I really enjoy kind of abstract stuff and like music and like all this kind of vague concepts. The theory for me was really working. And so like our film theory teacher was this guy named Doug Rice, and he was like, he killed it, man. I mean, like I learned so much from just watching taking his classes. I took like 4 semesters of his classes, you know what I mean? And but yeah, basically that was it. Like, you know, you learn how to make a film, and I think that's the most important thing. Like the real filmmakers, like a Wes Anderson or a PTA or a Martin Scorsese, like every good films and bad films, they do the same thing. They take a camera and they take actors and they place it and they do whatever and they film it and whatever, and it gets edited and it's a movie. Like they're still movies, but the things I think that separate them are their use of like cinema techniques, like theory, like trying to apply some of those concepts. I didn't know those concepts, so like for me, a lot of filmmakers, yeah, I think film school for them probably was a waste of time and a waste of money, and probably still is for some people. But I thought like taking those classes helped me because I had no idea. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I met you guys, so that was like a cool thing. So it's like there's some stuff that you get out of film school. You meet some contacts, you make some friends.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say. I don't know. I think for some filmmakers it probably does help to go to film school, and others it's a waste. Like they just have that natural. They just go out and they do it, and they make movies and like.
They don't want someone telling them what to do. They rather just go out and do it themselves.
Yeah, but there was like, you know, there was a lot of stuff that I learned. And as for what I want to do in the future, I guess like everyone wants to be like a director. They want to say that they've directed their own film. I would like to. I don't know though. Like I've as we've gone along, I kind of like operating the camera too. I kind of like trying my work at that. Not great at it, but like that's interesting. The screenwriting's also interesting. I don't know. I haven't really explored them enough yet to decide what I'm good at and what I want to do. Right. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, so where did you get your start, buddy? Where are the roots?
It's hard to say. I remember being a kid. My brother and I, my younger brother, he's a year and a half younger than me. We loved the idea of making movies. Our dad had a camcorder that we take on family vacations and stuff, and then so. When we were back home, we'd borrow it and kind of go and make our own kind of stupid little movies. Just like I think everyone you hear like every filmmaker they always say about how they used to just take a camcorder or a Super 8 back in the day and just film. Yeah. I think you have to do that because I mean that's where the spark comes from, that creative, because you don't know anything at that point about film theory, about making a movie at all. All you know. It's kind of there's a beauty in the innocence of it because you're just doing it just to do it. There's no money behind it. There's no motivation. You're not trying to get to a festival.
It's fun.
Yeah, because you want to.
Yeah,
because
you're doing your in-camera edits, and you're just like, oh, this is so cool.
And then after, and you're all done, you're looking at it on the TV. I remember just
there's some magic from that.
It's just like, we did that. We made that. That's
very fulfilling. Yeah. So we would do that, and we'd have like our friends or people around the neighborhood. We would just make movies with and. Of course, back then it's just all camcorder. It's all, and you don't know any better. You don't know. It's funny when you're that young. You have no idea what it takes to make like this great feature film. It must be some like magic formula.
Exactly.
No way could you ever like with your camcorder get those results. But it doesn't even cross your mind. It's only later when you get into film school when you learn about how they actually make these movies. You study lighting. You study writing. You study sound design. That you realize, well, I mean, it's more of just. I don't know. It's more of just like a fine tuning of all these things that you kind of you start learning when you're younger like that. And so I remember like a school project would come up and you have an option of you can write a story or you can build a diorama or there's an option you can make a movie. I'd always choose that because it was always so much fun to me. And I always loved. I don't know. Just no one else really wanted to do that because it takes a lot of work. You gotta think of it. You gotta take your camera out. You gotta Usually they turn into funny comedies.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But then after, like, you show it to the class, and that was like the coolest part.
I always felt like the best. Like I always had like this competitiveness in me. Like I gotta have the best project. At school. I really didn't care about much at school. I often didn't read the books I was assigned. I didn't do all my homework. I didn't get the best grades. But I had the best project. And I'm proud to say, like, I really did. And I loved it. And I think it's just that passion that's what takes you. That's what drives you forward. I remember for my senior project in high school, I did a Man vs. Wild Survivor Man type of thing where I had 3 of my friends. They were like my camera crew. I gave them my camcorder, and I went into the wilderness for like 2 days and tried to survive with nothing but like a pocket knife and some I don't even remember. And so it was pretty stupid. But it was hilarious. I still have it. You guys haven't seen it yet.
No, dude, you gotta
I tried to upload it on YouTube a long time ago, and it couldn't do it. It was just too big. It was like 20 minutes long. I should try and do that again because man, it was awesome.
Yeah, we gotta see that.
It was like a feature presentation in class. Like we're showing all the projects and everything, and then I come with my DVD and put it in there, just turn on the lights and sit there and just watch everyone watch it. Just watching me go through the wilderness, picking up bugs, trying to make a fire. Can't do it. Cut to the fire's already started. Building a shelter out of sticks and stuff. Yeah. Man, it was freaking. It was awesome. Yeah, it was. Anyway, so that was a lot of fun. Then I went to Sac State. I applied there. I applied to all these film schools.
Yeah.
Couldn't get in. Didn't have the the grades to get into like a USC or UCLA. And at the time, I was devastated because I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is how am I gonna? It's a reality check. It's like to get ahead. You really gotta apply yourself. And I always felt I didn't. And then, but I got into Sac State, and I was pretty disappointed about going to Sac State. But I eventually, of course, I think it turned out to be a great experience because, like Corey said, we had some really great professors there, especially in film studies. And of course, I met you guys. And, I think working together, all of us has really elevated each, like, I don't think by myself, and I think you guys can probably all say the same, like, you wouldn't feel as confident or as, we wouldn't have matured the same as we had, we kind of work and build together. And that's why we're still here, because we still have those same goals. And so, we worked on projects together, and we kind of, I don't know, it's funny how, like, we all met. It's, like, a very, circumstantial kind of rare thing. Also, I went to school with Seth. He's our producer here, which is another, like, crazy, like what are the odds, you go to school with someone, or people in your life, that can, I don't know.
You just bring them together.
Yeah, I feel like throughout your whole life, you're going to meet people that are just, like, super talented and creative and passionate, and it's all about, just, I don't know, not taking advantage, but, like, using them and bringing everything together and working together. Because film is a very collaborative process. So, like I said, we're working together, achieve far better results than just by ourselves. And so, reeling that back, I think that's, kind of the best part about it. Like, the most important part so far of this whole film career is meeting everyone and kind of working together with all of us. So,
what's kind of your end goal? Like, what do you want to see yourself as?
I've been, like, thinking a lot lately. Corey said kind of what I always say is, like, everyone wants to be a director, and I think I would love to do that too. I think we all would, but also, like, I play guitar. I think honestly I've played as much as I'd love movies. I'm probably even, like, better musician. I think that might be, like, more of even a calling than film is. I think I spent 10 minutes talking about film.
Right.
I guess I always wanted to, like, try and balance both. And honestly, I don't really know. I don't know. I want to keep.
You keep your options open. You go and you did you're making movies. You're making music in a studio. You're making songs.
We just filmed that music video.
We just filmed a music video for it.
And
so
it's like combining everything and making it like this whole kind of amalgamative thing that you can kind of weave together. And so Endgame, I don't know. I'd love to use all of what we have and all of what I have to build something. And people ask me, like, Axel, what are you doing with your life? Or, what do you want to do? And I really don't have an answer. And that might be a great thing to say.
People keep asking you.
They keep asking me, and I really, up to this point, have no one to tell them. But right now, it's tough because you work in a restaurant. You're trying to justify the fact that you're still working in a restaurant, even though you graduated from college, and you're trying to save money and trying to work on stuff. And I justify that by saying, I have the time to kind of do the things I want to do, and I am. I'm working on music. We have our projects that we kind of are working on. I think there's stuff. We have our aspirations are up here, and to get there, it's a long road, but.
It's definitely scary too, because like you see people that graduate with you. Like we have a roommate who graduated already and with us the same year, and he has a job as he's an engineer, and he's making good money, and like he's got a career solidified, and he's like our age, and it's just it's a little scary because like we're working these part-time jobs, still trying to find like our niche, and it's so much different with filmmaking. It's so much more. I guess I'm sure being an engineer is competitive, but it's not like this 1, 2, 3 step process. Like get your degree, apply for a job, get the job, and then move around a little bit within that job. It's with filmmaking. It's like, okay, you're done with you got your degree, great. What else have you done?
Because filmmaking's so collaborative.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
An engineer, like he's got his job, but he's doing like what he does.
Exactly.
So if you're someone, say, like I had an old roommate, and he like graduated with us as well, he was in the film program with us, wanted to be an editor. And now he's not. You know what I mean? Like he's back in the Bay Area, like living, just doing his thing. Because like I feel lucky and almost like I probably take it for granted, but like I have like the four of you, like we're a group. Like we graduated at the same time, we went out together, we took the classes together, and like we've done a lot together. So it's like we have a little bit of a team. And like Axel said, I feel like way more confident having like you guys than if I was on my own. Because like I don't know how you would even make it in this business on your own.
Well, it's okay, so there's two options you can go by, and we've kind of talked about this before, is that, you can move down to LA, you can get a job at a production company as an assistant, production assistant, helping with lighting, gaffer, whatever, and kind of learn the steps, and you can be in the industry, and you can get a job doing it, and that is a route. But honestly, like, I don't want to be doing that. I want to be working on my own projects.
Exactly.
You know?
No, exactly.
So I want to be selfish. I don't want to. Maybe it is possible to go down there and get a job with a production company, and you can work on your own projects. And I'm not denouncing getting a job.
Right.
Doing work, you know, and I'm not against working your way up, and that's great and that's very admirable. But you know what? Like, as of right now, I'm happy working on my own projects.
Exactly.
Right, you know,
like honing your own craft.
Yeah.
And just putting yourself out that way.
Well, remember our friend, like he said that he's worked as like a PA, and he said it's almost nearly impossible to try and climb the ladder up to like PA to like director doesn't happen.
Yeah, you don't climb your way. I think
you'd probably.
I think that the main thing with that, the main objective is like, you can see, if you're a PA on those big sets, you can see how they run these things. You can watch how the director talks to the actors.
Yeah.
You can watch the AD. You can get a feel for a sense for everything's going on.
You're almost
and
like
that's
a fly on the wall.
Exactly.
Thing, you know?
Exactly. And you're getting a solid foundation of how stuff should be run, or it is run, and what's wrong with it, and what you can do better and whatnot. But there's no way you're going to be able to pull the director side. Like, I think you want to do it. You know, you're not doing any of that shit.
No. To get identified and kind of establish yourself and to kind of be successful, you know, you have to create your own work and put it out there and have other people see that work and say, hey, I like this. You did good. Go to the next level. Yeah. Hey, you did this good. Go to the next level. And, you know, it's like, I feel like if other people appreciate your work and view it and they get pleasure from it, or they can take away something from it, then you've done your job.
That's right.
You know?
I think also the only way that I can even really see a scenario like that of someone working their way up the ranks would be like starting off as like a PA, and then maybe becoming like, you know, like a camera assistant or like a camera operator, and then like, you know, second camera assistant, then first camera assistant, and then maybe like director of photography. Like you would climb into something specific. You'd be like a production assistant, and then like, you know, like a grip, and then like key grip, and then like you kind of maybe climb into like a certain thing that way.
Right.
But it would just be.
But getting to the point where you are directing your own film,
those guys,
you know, like those guys. There's
like
a
a Spike Lee or one of those guys.
It's like,
you know, they just did that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
There's no set way to go about it, you know. And what is the end game? Is the end game to be famous?
True.
Is it this type of pride that we're going after to be like, I want to be rich, I want to be famous? Is that what we want? You know, I mean, it's nice to say successful.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Is like success can be measured in multiple ways.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
self-defined, really.
Yeah.
exactly. You know, and like I don't know. That's a hard. That's hard to say.
It's a hard question to answer.
It'd be nice just to do what you love to do, and be able to live off of it
For a living.
Yeah.
That's right.
and do that for a living.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about. I don't want to necessarily. It would be nice to be like put out great movies like Spielberg, but I don't want to be Spielberg. I don't want to be like. I don't know. I would say like, but it wouldn't be nice to have like a ton of money and then like, you know, to give back and help other people and all this kind of stuff. But it's like, that's not the end game. I don't think you should reach for that. If you get there, then that's awesome. Yeah. But you shouldn't be like, I am going to be rich and famous like Spielberg.
That's
right.
Yeah,
if you can make quality movies and quality products.
If you want to make movies like Spielberg, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
you know, if you want to do something like that. But to aiming for money, it's probably
you should love it. Yeah, because you have to
do it
for
you
the
love
sake
it.
of it.
And to get paid to do it is just like that'd be like icing on the top. You know, that's a dream. It's to do what you love for a living and to get paid well.
Yeah.
So you can have a family or whatever you want to do, travel the world, whatever.
Exactly.
That's why we're kind of sitting here.
Yep.
We're trying.
That's our end game. All right, fellas. I think we spent a lot of time on all of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys got some cool information from that. Maybe we changed your perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective lens.
A new lens. We're giving out lenses. That's what we do here.
Yeah. Take a lens.
Take a lens. So we went through our lenses.
Yes.
So hopefully
I think that changed.
Give us
my
your
lenses. Maybe.
Yeah. Our lenses are changing.
They've been warped.
We have a deeper focus.
Yeah.
A
Leave
higher
comment.
dynamic range.
Bokeh.
Until next time.
We're wrapping up.
Thank you. See you next time.